Alrighty, good morning folks. Out with Sergio this morning. Back at our normal spot. We're sort of like covering a bit of ground here. Been here about 5 minutes. Dug a copper washer and a couple of 1 cent pieces, but down here in the hole, and I'll just move the headlamp so you can probably see it. Just about there. You can see I've unearthed what appears to be my first silver for the day. It looks like a threepence. That's King George the 6th there. That's going to be a sheaf of wheat, but in this light. Here we go there. I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't. It's a 1943 threepence. Excellent. That rang up as a 88 one way, 91 the next. Excellent. Alright, let's crack on. Alrighty folks, still going along here. Sergio's been cleaning up on the pennies and half pennies. He's doing alright. I look to have just lobbed into my second silver for the day. Reasonably shallow hole. This was at 86, 87 both ways, and I don't know if you can see that, but just here you can see it's still in the dirt pile. Let's crack that little baby out of there. Oh, look at that. And it looks to be a threepence. Butterfingers. Alright, so all I'm doing is making it worse here folks. Just give me a second. That is a pants leg rub for a start. That'll help. Let's have a look what we got. There we go, looks like a 1934 threepence. Excellent. Alrighty, let's keep on cracking on, eh? Alrighty folks, so still going along, and it looks like I've uncovered my first ring. Now this rang up at a 87 both ways, and you can see it just in there. I don't think it's anything particularly valuable. I think it's a kid's ring. First of all, it's got a bit of weight to it, but it's got a skull on it. I'll give you a bit of distance so you can see. Looks small. There you go, there, it's a fold over. So you can see the back of the ring just there where it's folded over. So it's one of those ones that comes out of a vending machine. I'm sure it came out of a vending machine a long time ago. But nice little phantom. No, it's skull and crossbones, so it's not a phantom ring. But it's excellent. Alrighty. Wouldn't mind if it was gold or silver, but we'll take copper. Sweet as. Let's keep going, eh? Alrighty, so nothing really fantastic folks, but don't you hate that when that happens? That was a beautiful com halfpenny before the mower got to it. And looking down the bottom there, I'll back it off a little bit so you can see it. Looking down the bottom there, it was a 1917. Oh, there it goes. Oh well. Alright, let's crack on, see what else we can find, eh? Hopefully we'll find a whole one. Alrighty folks, so my next target was a solid 82. Wasn't down real deep, and you can see it just there in the hole. Pop it out. It's going to be a skippy penny. It's got King George the 6th on the back. I'm trying to find a spot where you guys can see it. And it's looks like a 1953. 1953 skippy penny. No, 43 skippy penny. Excellent. Alright, nice condition too. Let's crack on. Alrighty folks, my next find's pretty cool. I was up against this big ass tree here, and this is there's a massive root just here, but up underneath the root under there, I've uncovered this. Now, I've only ever found one of these before. I'm going to give it a finger clean. You guys are used to seeing me find military buttons. I'm going to take this out into the sun so you can get a understanding of what this is. I think let me find some decent sun. Here we go. Alright folks, so this is a New South Wales Railways button from the time of either Edward, Regina or George. I've got to give it a bit of a clean up, but you can see there it says NS Wales on one side, on the other side it says Railways. Now the last one of these I found was absolutely radders. I can see I think it's Edward Regina, Edward the 7th, yep, there's a VII underneath the, in between the E and the R under there. So it's Edward the 7th, Railway button, New South Wales Railways. How cool is that? Excellent. Alright, let's crack on, see what else we can find. Okay folks, so my next target, just down from that big tree, looks to be silver in the hole. And I'll just find a handy pointing, I don't know, I'll use my handy pointing trowel. If you just look at the base of the trowel there, you can see a glint. It's going to pop it up. Reach in there and get that. Oh yeah, definitely silver. And it's an Australian coat of arms, so it's an earlier one. And it looks to be a 1933. Just offhand. No, 1935. There we go. Excellent. Alrighty. Let's see what else we can find. Getting a bit warm, and I think Sergio had a hard night last night, so he's looking pretty poorly. We might be calling it quits soon, I think. Alrighty folks, so this spot just here, this disturbance in the soil, was where that last strippins came out of. About 40 centimetres to the left of it. You can see I've unearthed what appears to be a halfpenny. Nice little Commonwealth of Australia half. And it's a 1912. There we go there folks, 1912 Commonwealth of Australia halfpenny. Excellent. Alrighty, let's keep going, eh? Alrighty, so we've got a fairly tight group here. So that's the original threepence. That was a halfpenny you just saw come out. Just down in that hole there, folks. I don't know if you can see that. Is what looks to be another threepence. Let's get in there and rescue that. And it's another Australian coat of arms threepence. And it's a 1921. There we go there, 1921 threepence. Having a great time on the threepences today. Excellent. Alrighty, let's see what else we can get, eh? Alright folks, let's put a few things in perspective. Just around here was where I got that Edward the 7th Railways button. As we come along, you can see I've got an open hole. We'll come back to that in a minute. Just here was the threepence. Halfpenny was to the side, another threepence to there, and then I've come forward about a metre and got a nice 87, and down in this hole I've got another button. This one is an Australian Military Forces button. So it seems I can't get away from these. I tell you what though, this one is in much better condition than the ones I find up north. That is absolutely beautiful. Check that out. Alrighty, let's crack on. Alrighty, so I'm over here with Sergio, and he just told me he dug half a halfpenny over here in this this sandy area here, and he just reckoned he had the other half of it over here. So we've come over and put the two bits together, and check that out. It's the two halves. Now I've found plenty of halfpennies or half pennies, but I've never found both halves. How awesome is that? And that's a 1954 halfpenny, and we've got both halves of it. It just tells you your gridding's going alright, mate. You're covering all the ground. Alright, let's keep going. Alright folks, now because we've had all these other targets in this area that have been coins and buttons and the like, we're going to live dig this one, but I don't know if you can see that screen, but that's an 85. Both ways, so we'll dig that up. So, fortunately the ground is reasonably soft here, so I can dig one-handed. There we go. Now you're probably not going to be able to hear this pro pointer because it comes through my headphones, but she's right there. Let's get in there, bail that out. Okay, it's out of the hole, and it's a lump of shit. There you go. That's why I don't do live digs. Bit of lead. Righto, moving on. Alrighty folks, so I've stopped doing live digs because they're just shit, and the minute I do that, we pull out something nice. I've already given this a bit of a clean so that I don't have to bore you, but it just came out of this hole here, and you can see that's a badge or a members badge, and it's a Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales members badge from 1949, member number 1302, and you can see it's still got its pin where it was pinned onto a coat. How nice is that? Alrighty, so haven't got too much longer left here. We're running out of land, and to be honest, Sergio's feeling a bit shabby, and I had a couple of drinks last night myself, so probably going to be time to go soon. Alright folks, so still around this big tree. So this would have been, you look, there's three of them here, so it would have been an area where people would have come and hung out for picnics and the like. There's a river just over to my left, but down here in this hole I've pulled out a really green sixpence. Now when you've got a green sixpence, it tells you it's a 50%er, and you can see it's feral. So having a quick look at the date for you, and it's a 1948, so a 1948 sixpence. Excellent. Alrighty, let's crack on. Alrighty folks, so my next target down here was a nice little 87 one way, 88 the other, and you can see I've popped a halfpenny size item, and it is a halfpenny, and let me have a bit of a scrub at that. 1926, so it's a 1926 halfpenny. Excellent. Alrighty, let's crack on. Alrighty folks, so we're heading back towards the car, which is just situated over there, and sort of working our way back there. Got a nice 87, and you can see I've popped a halfpenny size item out of the hole, and it's really crusty. And that looks to be King George the 6th. That's a skippy half, and I'm pretty sure I just saw 1948. Yep, 1948 halfpenny. Alrighty. Alrighty, so Sergio's just found what looks to be a makeup compact, and he's just been able to open it. Look at the decoration on the outside of that. It's so pretty. Gorgeous little thing. Just don't bend it too far, otherwise you'll break the hinge. Yeah. Still full of powder, look at that. That's beautiful, mate. So the other side, like, yeah, a bit hard to tell. Gorgeous little thing. Over at my hole over here, I've got a 90 now. I know we said we were going to the car, and we are, kind of on our way. But over here, I've got a 90 in the ground here. Just got to find it. Okay, it's small enough to be a coin. Apologies if that's one. There it is there. No, not a coin, just an offcut of copper pipe. Not an offcut, it's one of the, it's a threaded piece, so it's off a hose. Alrighty folks, so last dig for the day. And then we're going to go home, but I've finished on a high note. If you look down here in the hole, I don't know if you can see that, just pull this root out of the way. Looks to be a threepence. And it is. It's a 1944 Schiefer wheat threepence. Excellent. This was a 80, no, sorry, it was a 90 both ways, and I said to Sergio, silver's a nice way to finish. Sergio's over there. He thought he was finished. He was going to finish on a quarter of a penny, but we'll see how we go. Oh man, in fact, let's live dig Sergio. Given our history of live digs, this could be poor. If it's that small.
Yeah. No good.
Ah, well. Alright. Let's call it. What's he got? That's
a fifth of a penny.
It's a bit more of that penny. Look at that.
1/5 of a penny.
Alrighty. See you at the roundup, folks. Alrighty, folks. So here's the wrap up from the hunt this morning. It wasn't bad. The area we were doing was like a postage-sized stamp block, but had a couple of big trees on it and a river nearby. So I'm assuming it was like an old picnic area or something similar like that. Let's have a look up the top here. We'll start with the pennies. We've got 1943 pennies, so let's move on to the half pennies, eh? 2 Commonwealth of Australia. We've got a 1926 and a 1912, a 1948 Skippy, and half of what looks like a 1917 Commonwealth. In the silvers. Now I know that doesn't look real silver, but trust me when I tell you that sixpence is a silver, 1948. That's 50%er. That's why it looks the way it does. Into the threepences, and we've smashed those. Machine was really lighting up on the little silvers yesterday, but I got a 19 from memory, 1921, 34, 35, 43 and 44. Into the relics. Well, we'll cover those in a second. It's 1 and 2 cent pieces. Mercifully, not many, which is good. Relic type stuff. We'll go over this end first. There's that kid's skull ring. We'll pick that up and have a look at it. Upside down, of course. There we go. It's a beautiful little piece. Pity it's a junker. She's an older one, but yeah, real pretty. We've got that 1949 Royal Agricultural Society of New South Wales members badge, and now the 2 pearlers. We'll have a look over here first. This is an Edward VII New South Wales Railways button, and you know it's Edward VII because that's a stylised E and an R, and if you look just in between the E and the R at the bottom, I'll try and get in close. I don't think it'll let me, so we'll try and zoom in. You can actually see the VII for 7. So Edward VII Railways button actually says New South or NS Wales on the left and Railways on the right. And this little pearl here, this is an absolute cracker. This is probably the nicest military button I have ever dug out of the ground. It is in beautiful nick and got everything. You can even read the maker's mark on the back. That soil up that way is really sandy, and it's really preserved this quite well. Fortunately, it's not a park as such, so no fertilizer gets thrown around, which is good. This is pretty much my it's a hard choice, isn't it? Actually, I'm going to call this one the pick of the day. You know, I've only ever found one of these before, and it was all mashed up. This one's in pretty good nick, so yeah, this is the find of the day for me. Alright folks, hope you enjoyed the hunt, and we'll see you on the next one, eh? Cheers.